right, we'll call the Finance Committee meeting to order. Everybody have a chance to take a look at the minutes?
Move to approve.
Second?
Motion and second to approve. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Approved claims in the amount of $1,111,219.65.
In addition to an extra week included in this one, we have our general insurance payments, which are about 200 and some thousand, and the first 170,000 for the spray patch equipment.
Okay.
Move to approve.
Second?
Motion and second to approve. Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. Discussion possible action regarding the acceptance of bids for 2022 street maintenance project.
Good evening, Finance Committee. So we opened bids on the 2022 street maintenance project on the 30th of March. I received two bids, one from Allied Blacktop Company and the other from Farner Asphalt Sealers. Allied Blacktop was a little bid of about $335,000, which was very, very close to the engineer's estimate. Couldn't get closer if I tried, I'm pretty sure. And so it's under the engineer's estimate. We have funding for the project and looking for approval of the awarding the bid to Allied Blacktop Company.
Have we used them in the past? Doesn't ring a bell.
Not here. I've worked with them in the past elsewhere, but yep, they know how to do the job.
We gotta be a little raw about the whole hiring people from our 35 bridge
Yeah.
project. So.
No, they can do the job.
It's just you that keeps bringing it up, Randy.
And I will continue to.
Yep.
All right, so you're fine working with them?
Yeah.
All right. Move for approval.
Second.
Motion and second to approve.
I
Any-
like the song, that's
Any
fine.
discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
Motion's approved. Approve the invoice for ARPA funds for the fire department. Chief, good to see you.
Yeah, I guess I know it's gonna be on this, but Honorable Mayor, Finance Committee members, this is what we've been talking about for over a year. This is just the final invoice for the approval of the second set of gear. Appreciate it. It's really a big safety factor for the firefighters moving forward. Had an incident today where we did have some more gear that was out. So we had a couple people out for several hours with their gears getting washed. So, but thank you very much. Do you have any questions?
No, I'll move to approve. That, very important.
Yep.
I'm still wondering, why are we paying for this out of city ARPA funds when it is a benefit to everybody in the fire district? I just can't, I support this purchase. I just can't support this when we've got money that, from the EMS
I
fund.
think for us to just purchase it now and then we can come back and look and split the funds or however you want to go about paying for it, but we have funds available through this avenue. Let's just buy these equipment. As you heard, they had an incident today where they could have used that second set of turnout gear. So let's just buy it, get it done, and then we can come back, visit it, and find a better place in funding or some
Will you support
alternative
that?
that you want to present.
Yeah, no, I think that it should come out of the money that we're turning over to the fire department from the EMS.
The commission.
Yeah.
I mean, I would like to obviously get this now. One other option would be eventually down the road is just ask the partners if they'd be interested in contributing, which they may be. They all are getting some type of ARPA funds, but
Okay.
they're kind of aware of it. But as Councilmember Morissette said, we kind of all are set to go with this now, which would be nice because we're out about 16 weeks on lead time for ordering it even. And the more we wait, and then we're locked in on the price that we have to get by, I think, 2 weeks into April, or we got another week or two before we have to do it. And it's incrementally seeing prices go up every couple months like everything else. So it'd be nice to get it locked in now, so.
Well, if you'll amend your motion to revisit the financing of it through the fire commission, then I will second that motion.
Let's get a little advice from Aaron. Will that work for us?
Yeah, I think that's just fine. I mean, right now, it's just we have these funds on hand, we can use them. And then as we can look later how we want to, if we want to try to look from some other location. I mean, most of the things when we buy capital for the equipment and things from the fire department, it just kind of depends if it's a purchase where we bond for it, or if it's a purchase that comes out of the budget every year sort of thing. So because this was kind of an unbudgeted purchase, but we know that we need it, it seemed to make the most sense to use this. We know it's obviously an eligible expense for the funding, and we can take a look later once we know for sure what's happening with those EMS funds to see if we can't get the fire board to agree to allocate those funds towards it. I don't see an issue with that.
All right, so if we, let's just say we didn't have the ARPA funds available, what would the process be, Scott, for this?
So we would have put it in our budget for this year. Last year,
budget?
we put it in because we started talking about this last June, so it would
Whose
have been in the fire department's budget.
Okay,
So then we would have asked for it in the budget.
from each of the partners?
Yeah, well, yes, ultimately it's divvied out. I mean, we have to kind of remember when we look at our budget, roughly, let's say our budget is $1 million. We pay about 55% of that.
Right.
Our partners pick up the other 45%.
But we would be asking them
We would be asking them.
pay for these suits.
And on the other hand is we're very fortunate to have good partners that are involved with us and make our fire department basically state of the art because of what they contribute and are part of.
Right.
And I don't think it's necessarily bad every once in a while to throw them a bone either. For them they pay for part of our trucks, which they have zero ownership in. So when they do buy that truck, they have zero ownership in it. They're paying for their percentage of it, but they don't own it. So could you throw them a bone once in a while like this? I don't maybe think it'd be the worst thing either, but try to get the money later. So it's I think we have a very mutually beneficial contract and great partners. So.
And the other part of this too, to remember, is that Scott would have included this in his budget, which means that we would have had to levy an additional about half of this amount in our tax levy to pay for it. And then our partners would have had to agree to do that with, basically theirs too, because the fire board pretty much kind of signs off on their budget. So they would have all been agreeing at that time too. So, I think that was part of the looking at using the ARPA funds, is that if we didn't use the ARPA funds, we'd have been looking at having to levy for it. And as we know, we kind of did everything we could to, get a few new positions added, things like that, but then keep the levy, kind of under the basically inflation, that sort of thing. So, we would have had to cover half this cost out of our levy if we didn't use this, and that's the reason why we did it, is because at that time we didn't have the final guidance for the use of these funds, but we knew for sure that this was an eligible use. So that's why we had it included and not put into the operating budget.
All right. Anybody else? Well, I'm sorry, did you amend the amendment?
I will amend it just to make it easy. Yes, we'll take a look at using the funds that were liquidated from the asset sales of the EMS, if that's correct, is what you're thinking?
Yes, that's what I'm asking for. I'll second that.
All right, so we have motion and second. Any other discussion?
I had just a comment for Councilmember Hall. I'll be happy to try to contact the other municipalities and see if they're interested in just partaking, and if they wanna, they usually don't donate too much, but they may. I mean, and they've been very good. I mean, through all this, I think we've all been through EMS and everything else, but we've been very, very fortunate to have a great relationship with our partners. So, and want to keep that, and they may just say, hey, well, maybe they will kick in a little bit.
I
So
agree with that, and I don't know what they could afford to kick in their levy limits, and I know what the answer is gonna be, is they're waiting for the money coming from EMS.
So, yeah, but we,
know,
we're
that way
fortunate, and, we're kind of between a rock and a hard place. This is a safety issue, and to me, it's something I've really been trying for, and it's very, very important, and to keep our staffing levels up and our people there, I think this is another perch that we are investing in safety of our firefighters, so I appreciate your support.
All right, thanks. Appreciate it, Chief. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chief. I've got nothing. Anybody?
No.
Move to adjourn.
Everybody good?
Second.
Okay, motion second to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's approved. We stand adjourned.